How's it, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. You're here with me, Morgs Brew, and today I'm going to tell you about setting up our farm, how we did it, what we're using, and we're going to take a tour through the system using the Scale of Permanence as a guide.
Okay, today we're talking about our garden, how we keep it healthy.
Now, if you haven't heard of the Scale of Permanence, this is just a checklist, a mental checklist that you should go through when thinking about land, when thinking about agriculture. And it's a sort of a step-by-step way of understanding exactly where you are. Each site will be unique, each site will have its own context. And today we're out here at the worst possible time because I came here, I've spent 20 minutes now setting this all up and it's starting to rain. Luckily, I'm undercover, not really. Anyways, we gotta get out of here, grab a bucket. So I want to talk about the process we went through in thinking of setting up a small farm. The first point you've got to think about is your climate. More than just the temperature, winds and rainfall, you look at the social economic status of your area. And there's a lot that you can bring into this, but it's specific to your context. So what are your questions you're asking that are climate related, and think about them. Figure these things out, brainstorm, put them down. The second thing you go into is going to be geography. So what exactly does the land say it can do? And when I say, it obviously doesn't speak to you, and it won't speak to you unless you're really observant. Then you may think it's speaking to you because you're able to read it. But what I mean by that is analyze the land shape, the land form, understand its aspects. Where is it facing? North, south, east or west for light. Understand its steepness on a gradient for water, and also how that gradient changes as you move around the contours. The third thing you're going to think about is the water systems. Now, water moves according to the land and it appears according to the climate. So we've already covered a whole lot about what water is. With water, you look at how it naturally moves around. Where is it going? How is it doing it? Where is it being destructive? Understanding how it's going to cause you trouble is important. And where could it be manipulated? Where would be the best places for storage, the most efficient in terms of the size to volume type of calculations that can be done? And when you start to understand where your water can be stored, and furthermore how it moves around your landscape, then we start to look at fourth point. Which is going to be access, because now we understand our climate, our geography, our water, and we know where we can drive, how to move around most efficiently. Because when you have a farm and you're carting tons and tons and tons of stuff around the system, you don't want to be messing around. You want that to be an efficient process. So you look at your access. Where do these roads go? Or in my case, my pathways. How am I going to design my pathways around there for this vegetable garden?
Okay, now I'm talking about this part. As we're doing this part, this bigger part is the 75. So guys, what we're doing is, as we walk, when we're walking, we don't want to walk where we're working. So I'm moving, I'm coming forward. If I want to come forward, I'm moving easily. So I'm compact the sides, not compact my bed, because that can make my seeds not coming up or killing my roots of my plant.
The fifth point to consider is going to be your fruits, forestry and livestock. When you've gone through the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, you're now allowed to think about what grows. What do you want to grow? So if you follow the steps, you have a fundamental grasp of what you can put and where it might be. So that's what you start to use now. So the sixth thing we think about is the buildings. And that's what I've got here behind me. This is our post-harvest wash station. It was put together from a bit of scrap Wendy house that we were donated. And we stripped apart one of the walls here to make some slats so that we could block out the sun. And we have our wash station right behind that. So I told Rob we need something that we can use to wash our vegetables in, and he came up with this system. It was very efficient.
So I tried to build this. Okay guys, where we are now, we're in our pig shed. We put here first time, and then we take it here, and then we put the other side to clean it. After that, we're taking and we're shaking, and then we're taking and putting the top on.
And it is transported down this road and off property.
Okay guys, please come here, let's check here what I'm trying to do here. Yo. Okay. I built this, so this is for where we can do that's all that plant for microgreens, and then after that we can put it here to keep it away to the bed and to keep it away to those things, small things, you know, insects, what they call insects. So I just do this, guys. I'm not finished yet. As you see, it's mess here. It's just mess. I'm still doing this thing now.
So the seventh thing to think about is fencing. Fencing is a expensive process, guys. If you need to put up fences, be prepared to put the bucks out, or you're just gonna struggle. And
hello guys, there we go again. Okay, still Rob, still here. And then what I want to talking about, about this fence. I'm the one who made this fence. We made this fence. We got the bugs, you know, the bugs. You know that, guys. Yeah. It's messing us here, guys. It's eating everything. What we're trying to grow it up to take it at. But okay, I'm not blaming it because God didn't give us hands like us. So that's why, as I got hands, I tried to make this fence. I need a lot of fence. You know what I'm saying? We still need a lot of fence, but where we can get it is Gelprat. It's the money talk, guys. So
what we're finding is we really need to put fencing up to be able to expand. So we're trying to grow what we can within the space we already have, using all our resources we have available. And now we're going to go forward with that, with the intention of expanding our fencing system. Okay, so the eighth thing that you're going to need to think about is your soil. And with that, I suppose, depending on what your soil type is, will be whether or not you need to make compost and how much compost you need to make. But composting is going to be an essential part of probably every system. So let me just show you my soils here. We've been gifted by the soil gods. Yeah, you can see there's banana roots right up here, but this is a very black, sort of a heavy clay loam kind of a soil.
you see how our ground, how it looks like? It's very nice. You see, it's black, it's clay, it's look nice, it's compact, it's got compost. It's not compact, it's soft. The side is compacted.
So the whole farm doesn't have the same kinds of soils, but that's pretty much what we're working with here in our vegetable garden. We still go ahead and we make our own compost. So we've got this 2-bin system over here for our sort of priming stages. And we make our top dressing right up here. We finish it. Now, completely relying on making your own amendments can be a bit dangerous, because being able to get it right takes quite a bit of understanding for the bigger system of it. And like I've said before, we're trying to do this in a way that's low barrier to entry to doing it. So we've included worms, but it's more of a learning, using and developing the skill system. All it really is a bathtub that we've got, and we throw all of our kitchen waste into this. Drains out into the gold over there. It's a bit heavily wet at the moment, but you'll see these guys are resilient, man. They don't mind that it's all wet like this. Check at them down here. It's a messy system. Rely on it, trying to understand, learn from it, use it as a tool, improve it as we go. Number 9, the last thing we think about is the economy. Does this actually make sense? And we start to then put those numbers back into the system and churn that again, having a better understanding of each of the cogs that got you to thinking about the money. Some people think it's the most important part, the business side of it, the finances, but on a farm it's not really. It's very important to make money because it is a business at the end of the day, and we need to remember that. No matter what your ideology is, if you want to make a success of it, your concept, your ideology, if you want to be that person that changes the world, you need to be a successful farmer first. By that I mean a businessman. You need to make money to be able to survive into that point in time where you can actually change the world. So Rob and I are trying to develop this system, and we want to take you guys along with us.
So the compost can able to going down, sink down to catching what? To catching that layer, till to when we're putting our plant, so that roots can catch that compost and we're getting that fat. As we need you to get that bigger, you know what I'm trying to say. So guys, anyway.
And now that we're at the end of my episode, guys, if you've enjoyed any of this, if you've enjoyed our farm, what you've seen, you're going to be able to follow along with Rob and I. We going to move through this quickly now. I think we're getting some momentum with our planting. We've developed some skills. We now are starting to understand our pest pressure better going into the next stage of planting. We're going to basically reset this garden and have a few more tricks up our sleeve. So if you want to stay updated to what we're doing in the garden, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell at the same time so you can be notified when a new video launches, and you will be able to stay up to date day by day as Rob and I move through this. Please join us for the ride. It's going to be interesting, and if you're local, get a hold of us and we can supply you with some fresh veg and fatten you up. Cheers, folks.